Today, hot spots or not spots. Hello again, it's Martin North from Digital Finance Analytics. Welcome to our latest post covering finance and property news with a distinctively Australian flavour. Now, last week I appeared on the Today Show and we discussed very briefly what the property market was up to. It was altogether 2 minutes, and I made a brief show about my appearance. Now, let me just replay specifically what I said with regard to buying and selling.
Just quickly, what is your advice overall, buying or selling? Should we just sit tight and wait for the market to settle?
Well, if you're a buyer and you don't have to buy now, I'd wait because prices will continue to fall, certainly for the next couple of years, in my view. If you're trying to sell, I think you need to try and sell now because you're going to lose equity the longer you leave it. So we're in a very difficult situation just now.
Now, the reason I've brought this up is that a couple of days later, Nine ran another segment on the news, and they were discussing specifically the great buying opportunities in and around Western Sydney. Listen to what they said.
600 square metre home at Emptor is snapped up for just
$350,500 once, at $350,500, ladies and gentlemen, twice,
and sold.
That's very good for a house in Sydney with 4 bedrooms, and you can catch a bus or you can drive your car for 2 or 3 minutes to shops.
Now it's becoming more possible, so it's a really inspirational.
Sydney's property price plunge has opened up a host of bargain suburbs where median costs have sunk well below the $500,000 barrier. CoreLogic data shows the cheapest deals right now on homes in Greater Sydney are in the Blacktown area. Tregear tops the list with an average price below $438,000, followed by Shalvey, Emerton, Darrick and Lethbridge Park. The most affordable units are spread across Fairfield, Campbelltown and Blacktown. The best prices in Carramar just below $335,000.
Prices have come back a little bit with the recent downturn in the Sydney market, and obviously with all the infrastructure in the area, it's an awesome area to buy in.
$400K or $350K for this area for people affordability, perfect.
The fall's in part the result of banks tightening up their lending and pushing out investors.
The restrictive lending has had the investors step back from the marketplace, which does allow first home buyers the opportunity to come in and purchase a home.
And data from Domain shows buyers also have more options to choose from, with more than 43,000 properties on the market right now, compared with just 40,000 listed for sale at the same time last year. Alice Monfries, 9 News.
Now, those of you who've been following the DFA posts may recall Blacktown, Fairfield and Campbelltown. And the reason they're turning up is because they are some of the highest, most stressed households from a mortgage stress perspective, and they also contain the greatest proportion of households in negative equity. In other words, what we are seeing is people being forced to sell. And of course, there are always two sides to every story. I guess as prices continue to fall, and they've dropped more than 20% in these particular postcodes, and as mortgage stress continues to build, more people will get into difficulty, and as prices continue to fall and people get into difficulty, the negative equity problem gets ever larger. But I do wonder whether people should be taking note of my earlier advice, which is if you really are considering buying now, well, be very careful because prices are likely to continue to fall. And these are not by any means great deals. And I also make the point that my 2-minute piece was much, much shorter than the entire length of the segment on the news. And it seems to me that they've got the emphasis all wrong on Nine. Great time to buy, great time for first-time buyers to get into the market. Not. The truth is that now is a very prickly time to be buying. because prices are likely to continue to fall further and mortgage availability continues to be very tight. So I think it's time that the mainstream media got a little more responsible in how they tell the property story. I'm afraid that this spruiking is not good enough. I'm Martin North from Digital Finance Analytics. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.